three different types of tree terms. Okay, the first one is, let's say if I give you x squared, give me a number.
Minus 40.
40. So if I give you minus 40 at the end, and we're going to give you
11.
You can't be 11.
52.
Let's see.
20.
8.
2.
5.
Okay.
No one said 3.
I know, but that's the one that works. Okay, why does this one have a cheat?
Because there's an X.
Because there's a 1 in front of the X. So this one here, there's a cheat because of the 1. What's the cheat?
The funnel.
No, funnel's the long way.
The X cancels. No.
What's the factors of X squared?
5. X and X.
X and X. So we know that this is going to factor into X and X because that's the only options. All right. Now, what's the next thing? What do you look at next?
The 3.
No.
The 40.
The 40. And what do we have to do? Close. Ooh, yes. So we got to get factors of 40 that give you 3.
5 and negative 8.
So it's negative 40, and you want to say it's a positive 5 and a negative 8. Is 5 times negative 8 equal negative 40?
Yes.
Yes. First step's good.
No.
Is 5 minus 8 equal 3?
No.
No, it equals a what?
Negative 5 and...
So your first guess was wrong, but were you close?
Yes.
So what should it have been?
Negative 5.
Negative 5 and a positive 8 giving you a positive 3, right?
Yep.
We got the right factors?
Yes.
Okay, I can cheat and just put them in now, right?
That's cheating.
That's totally cheating and we like it.
You usually cheat on your quiz.
Okay, so we can cheat on that one because of the 1. Okay, that's the first kind you learn. Second kind, let's say we have 2x squared. You want a plus or a minus at the end?
Plus.
Minus. Equal.
Plus, let's
12.
do,
12.
give me a 9.
12.
A 9.
To a
What
nine.
number?
9. 9.
Okay, fine.
Give me a 9.
Okay, why can't I cheat on that one?
Because of
Because of the 2. So what is your option for this one?
Funnel.
This one we have to funnel. Can I funnel up here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, how do I funnel? What do I get here?
18.
18. Now I need the factors of a positive 18 that give me a negative 9. So what are both my numbers going to be? Negative. Negative what? What numbers do we have?
Negative 1 and negative 18.
Okay. Negative 1, negative 18 equals a negative 19. Is that one right?
No.
Nope. Okay, next one.
Negative 9 and negative 2.
Does that one work?
No.
Next one.
Negative 3 and negative 6. Hey, there we go.
That one work?
Yup, he did.
Yep. Okay, what do we do with that negative 3 and negative 6?
Plug it in from the back.
Yeah, it takes place of that 9, right? So, place of the 9,
X.
x. So what goes with the negative 3 and the negative 6?
X.
So it's 2x squared. And what did we do next?
Group.
Group, because it's 4 terms, right? Okay, what, yes, say it.
Make the negative positive.
Right, this guy's most important, right? Plus a negative, so we don't mess up our signs.
Negative 6 out.
What? Do what?
Do what?
Do what part do you do? The middle part. Well, how do you get the new?
The other half. Yeah, I hope you do like plus or negative, but
Well, you have to.
6.
Oh, okay. And some of you I've seen do this. You do this, and then you put your parenthesis right beside it.
Yeah.
That's technically wrong, because that means if all the signs,
Yeah.
that works. That's the same thing.
No.
As long as you have a plus in between, if you group the negative and put the little plus sign, I'm totally right. Okay, so what do we do next?
You do that. Okay, so you divide by 2. I mean,
No.
X. X.
These guys have an X,
No, you didn't. Yes, I did. I wrote it down on my paper.
giving you,
2x minus 3.
what's the next one have in common?
Negative 3.
Negative 3, because he has to be what?
Positive.
Positive. Take out a
2x
negative
plus
3,
Let's go. I got it right.
and then what?
X minus 3, and then 2x.
Yeah, what do they have in common?
3.
Why do you do it that way?
So this is how we do
2x minus 3 and then x minus 3.
Okay, and then if I told you to solve, what did you do now?
Gonna suck
Equal to zero.
Equal to 0. Okay, this is what we know. Agreed. So we had a cheat, we had the long way. Today is another cheat. So we can do it the long way. It will work, but there's a shortcut. So when you go here, this is called perfect square trinomials. Last chapter, I had you do a ton of multiplying of these so you could kind of get the idea. All right? You've done a lot of this forward, so now we're going to do it backwards. All right, and this is just the form. So this here, A is like the X, and the B is like a number, a 2. Okay? So if I told you to take A plus B squared, what did we do with the first term when we cheated? Because you could do this without any work, without writing it out twice.
Multiply it by
Take A plus 2 quantity squared. How do we get the answer?
you multiply the x
You
X
take the X
squared.
times X and you got,
plus 2x.
I shouldn't have used 2, I'm going to use 3.
4.
Okay, now how do we get the middle term?
Well, add 3 times x,
We took this and we got,
3x, and then multiply it by 2.
then we multiply, because there's 2 of them, right? So that was plus 6X, and the last term was
Negative.
9, because you took the last one and you squared it. That's what you did. Okay? Instead of writing it twice, we could cheat. We could square the first, multiply and double, square the last.
Okay, well, I didn't do that.
All right. But some of you did this. You said, hey, that's x plus 3 times x plus 3, right?
Mhm.
And then when you did this, you got x squared. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Then here you have,
3x. 3x.
okay, so how many 3x's did we have?
6.
2. Am I always going to have 2 with that middle term?
I did.
Yes.
That's what equals.
Absolutely always. Then the last one was 9, right? I'm out of room. So it's x squared plus 6x plus 9. First one squared. Second one multiplied and doubled, because there's 2 of them. Last one squared. Now we're going to go backwards. So if you don't see it right away, can you still do the long way? Absolutely. What's going to make the difference if there's a minus sign? What's the only thing that's going to change?
No middle term.
Yeah, no, there's going to be a middle term, but instead of positive, it's going to be negative. Well, the last term will always be positive.
Yes.
Yes, because if you take a positive times a positive, you get a positive, and a negative times a negative, you get a positive. So if there's a negative last term, does that mean you can't do it?
No.
Nope, that means you have to do the long way. If there's a negative last term, you have to do the funnel method.
So this is stuff that we already know?
Yep, this is stuff you already know, kinda. All right, now, kinda, you know how to do it forward, you don't know how to do it backwards. Okay, so to do it backwards, you have to check to make sure everything is right. You have to know the first term and the last term are perfect squares. All right, so is x squared a perfect square?
Yes.
What is it? X. Is 64 a perfect square?
Yes.
What is it?
8.
32.
8. Okay, now if this works, that middle term is this times this doubled. So what's x times 8?
8x.
And 2 of them,
16x.
does it work?
Yes.
So this has to equal that middle term.
So then what do you
What?
do there?
You write down the answer.
That's
You
literally-
say, hey, that is x, this symbol,
That's literally what you do.
that's literally all you do.
We're
And
gonna
what are you
keep
doing?
up.
Okay, are you ready to try it again?
No.
What are you doing when it equals a plus b squared?
What?
What do you do like when it equals a plus b squared? And there's an equals something.
So it's just.
A plus b
Like
squared.
right there.
Oh, I see what it's.
No, I do not know where you're looking.
Right on the factory rules for perfect squares.
This is what this is. This is a perfect square?
Yeah, but then what do you do on the other side of the equal sign?
Where is this 11?
No, that,
Is that the answer?
this is this. That's the answer.
Oh, okay.
That's all that is.
That's what I was confused.
All right? Maybe
Where
an
does
arrow
11
would have
come
been
from?
better. Okay, so the first term has to be a
Perfect square.
perfect
Positive.
square. The last term has to be a perfect square. the middle has to be 2 times that. So this is a square. Good. This is a square. What's this guy?
It's that times 2.
Yep, it's the square, the first one, the first square, times the second square, times 2. So it's this, times 2. Is it always going to work?
No.
No, if it doesn't work, you have to do what?
Factor that equals
Wrong way. Sometimes it's going to happen. This is just a shortcut. It's really to help you next chapters, what it's for. So we look here. We got to see if it works. Is this a perfect square?
Wait, so what do you
Yes.
add?
Yes.
Like,
Talk out.
when you're trying to get the middle, what do you add?
You take-
No. All right, you take the thing times the thing double.
The thing times the thing doubled, yes.
Okay.
First times last times 2. Are we there? First times last times 2. Okay, is 36 a perfect square?
Yes.
What is it?
6.
6x.
X.
Is 16 a perfect square?
Yes.
Yes.
4.
4. Now what do I do with the 6 and the 4? It does not work. What do you do with the 6? You multiply them.
But then if you double it, you get like 48.
You got it. So when I take these together, I get 24x, but I have to double it. Does that equal this? No. Not a perfect square.
Then do you have to factor it out?
Yes, you'd have to do it the long way.
That's complicated.
The long way.
Wait.
It is.
Okay, this guy's a cheaty one. What's wrong with him?
They're not in order.
They are in descending order, but what do you see between 5, 10, and 5? You have to take out, should we have taken out a 2 up here first? We should have. Okay, 5, 10, and 5 have what in common? 5. And we have to do that every time, right? Okay, so we're going to take out the 5. He goes in front, so I'm going to ignore him now. X squared minus 2x plus 1. What do I do with the x squared? Is it a perfect square? What is it?
1.
X. Is 1 a perfect square?
Yeah.
What? 1. What's 1 times x?
1.
1x times 2. Does that equal the middle term?
Yes.
Okay, so the 5 comes out. I write, yes, it's negative because of him.
But we don't have
Well,
to,
you-
it doesn't have to equal the same sign.
Say it again.
It doesn't have to be the same sign.
You just have to take the sign from
The sign doesn't matter.
The sign does matter, that's why it's negative.
But
What sign are you
You
talking
just take
about?
the sign.
When you multiply together, like when you get 1x and double, and you get 2x, that's negative 2.
Correct. That's because when I take a negative x, right? And, how am I going to explain this? So, right here. X minus 1 times x minus 1. Are you with me?
Yep.
Okay, when I take this times this, what do I get?
X squared.
X squared. Minus
Minus
x
and negative x. And negative.
positive 1. The last one has to be positive for this to work. Okay, so this is x squared minus 2x plus 1.
But
So since-
what I mean is when you're adding them together, it doesn't decide.
Oh, no. Nope, the sign only comes into play at the end. Is that what you're asking? Are we there? Any other questions? No? Is this hard?
No.
No. Is it always going to work?
They're extremely hard, actually.
Unfortunately, no.
so what if you just use the long way?
You can.
Someone drop out.
Well, you can use the long way, but later, next chapter, we're going to be factoring. The faster you can factor, the faster you're going to get your stuff done.
2K18.
Wait.
Okay?
By the long way, you're being a funnel thing?
Yes.
Oh,
The long way is the funnel thing. Okay, so first you look for like terms, like always. Okay, has to be in descending order. Now they have to be perfect squares. So that means the first term and the last term have to be what sign?
Ouch.
For it to be a perfect square, what does the last term have to be?
Positive.
Positive. Check for perfect squares. That means first and last.
Hey, your Wi-Fi's working.
My Wi-Fi came back on.
It says it's working.
I think that computer thing is what I think happened. This one works and that one doesn't. Remember last time this happened, they had to replace my computer?
Yeah.
Okay, the middle term, what does 2AB mean?
I don't know.
What am I how do I get that middle term?
The middle. Yeah.
Yep, you take the first times the last and you double it. That's what this is. So it's 2 times the first times the last, and that has to be my middle term. Okay, then you just write it as factors. Check your answer. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
To keep that one, keep like the thing up there so that I don't have to keep on.
We're still on an example, then I'll put it back up. Okay, 2x squared minus 40x plus 200. What's wrong?
You can take 2 out.
Can take 2 out. So I'm going to divide everybody by 2, so we make him smaller. 2 goes out front and we ignore him. Okay, is the first a perfect square?
Yes.
What is it?
1.
X. Last a perfect square.
10.
Okay, what do you do with these two?
10x.
10x, double it, does it match?
Yes.
If it matches, you write down x minus 10 squared. Done.
Yep.
And you bring down the 2.
And you bring down the 2. Take along, can't go away. Okay, you have some practices. 2 of them, and I think they're partners. Do you want this up? Is this what you wanted up? You want this up? What do you want up?
But just keep that up.
All right, go. Don't forget, what's your first step?
Factor it out.
Figure out what they have in common. Okay, go. After your and your partner's done.
Yeah,
Partner's really good at that.
I played fun when he was there. I wish one was good at this, so like, it'd be like an invisible partner, so like, they'd never get done, so they couldn't leave.
Yeah.
Wait, we're going to.
Where is he right now?
I don't know. It's
One. You know that was yet?
No.
Did you now know how to spell your name or something?
You got the last one wrong, you got the sign wrong, how do you get a negative name?
Team. That was in.
I'm a negative.
I don't even know that.
I'm a negative.
Plus 10 is a
Yes, that doesn't work.
Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, well done.
It doesn't work. I got one out.
Hey, you never stopped it. You never stopped it. You can't.
So we're looking at these 4.
I want a cookie. I want a cookie.
Okay, you divided by 3?
Yeah.
So where's that 3 go?
Out.
Out front. What do I have left?
It's in a box to the left.
4x squared minus 12x plus 9.
Okay, now what do we check?
Squares.
What is this guy?
2x.
2x, what's this guy?
3.
Multiply,
Minus 3.
6. And double
and
it.
times 2
So it's 2x minus 3.
equals 12. So does it work?
What is that?
How do I, what's what? That's an error.
That is potato.
So what do we write? 2x
Minus
I have no idea.
3
minus
squared.
3
Squared.
quantity squared. Yep, bring down the take along. Okay, Tyler, what's the problem?
Everything.
All right, nobody talk.
Yeah.
Okay, Tyler, what's the first step? On this one. Do they have
I
anything
wasn't
in
done
common?
with this one.
He didn't even do it because he was so confused.
Well, he's gonna do this one. Okay, Tyler, what do you do with the first one?
I don't know.
First step, you look for the, is it a perfect square?
No.
Yes, it is.
I don't know.
What times what equals 25?
Get on, can you come on?
Minus 5. I don't know.
Tyler, you gotta know your perfect squares. Okay, is 36 a perfect square?
Yeah.
What is it?
6.
6. What do we do with these two things? You do. So what's 5 times 6?
Who did that?
30x, and then we
Double
double it.
Equals 60.
So it works. So how do I write my answer?
5 plus
So it's this one. Always this sign,
6.
this one.
I know.
Done.
Got a big, not a boom.
Be quick. right?
So, I'm so confused on the last lesson.
Corey Cass is about to fall
I
asleep.
asked you if you had questions on the last lesson, you told me.
Oh, I didn't want to feel like a fool.
Oh.
Oh, no,
At least you're
parents.
real.
You know, it's not